Hey guys, just wanted to do a quick update for you just on some projects and essentially what I've got going on. I've got what, six blades delivered to people now. Sorry, I should say five plus my original completed. I've got six or seven more on the go as far as at different stages. This essentially here is what I have, well, sorry, I should say, this is what I have ready for heat treatment. I just started grinding this today. This is essentially a larger version. This is going to be my first repeat knife. I shouldn't say that, I've done a couple of them multiple times, but I want to start kind of producing this knife. Different handle options and such, but I'd like to kind of make them ahead, not necessarily always custom order, or even maybe have myself a few blades ready to go just to mount handles to, depending on people's preferences. And this one is essentially just a little bit larger version of my original. We've got about a 1/4 inch extra blade and a 1/4 inch extra handle on there, and a little deeper into the handle as well. And a little more blade depth as well, as you can see. So just kind of an update on my very original, or my very first design, my first knife I've ever made. I'm just trying to expand on it and kind of make it available a little more to others. So yeah, this one, like I said, just started it tonight, so it's got a fair bit of work left to do to it, but that's one I'm working on. This one right here is one I just decided to make. It's not spoken for yet. I'll sell it once I get done. This is a full flat ground. Pretty large blade. Fair bit bigger than the original design. Longer, about the same depth through as the original over here. Actually, grab a measuring stick here. What do we got? We're looking at just under 1.5 inches thickness of the blade, or depth of the blade. 1/4 inch thick this one is, and we're looking at a 6-inch blade, 6-inch cutting surface. Overall 11 inches on this knife. It's pretty beastly. Like I said, it's 1/4 inch. It is full flat ground, so it tapers down nicely. It's going to be a nice slicer. Be able to put some hard use into it as well by the time I'm done. But this one's ready to go off to heat treatment. Got the blade all nice and cleaned up. That is going to have these diamond wood scales. These are laminated hardwood. You've got Tunisian jade wood. There's some charcoal silvertone in there, plus a couple others. Pretty cool stuff. It's not too expensive, but I think it'll be kind of a nice, laminate gunstock type finish, multicolored. This is a piece that I had left out of the cutout that I just figured I'd shape a little bit, just to get an idea of what it was going to look like once it was sanded. Pretty cool stuff. So yeah, that's one I'm building that's not really spoken for yet, but I might put it up for sale on the website or something when I'm done. This one here is for a local friend of mine. This is, you'll recognize, very close to one of the other knives that I have already finished and sold. It had a ramp back here like this one with jimping on it, but my friend didn't want the ramp and wanted a finger hole back here instead of the lanyard hoop, or the little lanyard slot that's there. So I built that out for him. Maybe a nice little Skinner, or just everyday, Woods Carry Morris style blade. It's not real deep. This one here is, let's see here, 4 1/4 inch cutting surface on it. 9.5 inch overall length down to the end of the lanyard, or the finger hoop. And these are spalted maple handles. Pretty cool stuff. I got it from knifekits.com in Georgia. And he's going with yellow liners. As you can see, these are G10 liners. So that should be pretty sweet looking when it's done. Those are just rough cut, the handle scales. We have another one. This is definitely a close relative to the one you just saw. All the dimensions are the same except for overall dimension, where it doesn't have the ring. It's 8 3/4 inch total length. And we have the ramp, but unlike my original, this one, Neil the knife guy from Ontario, Canada, on YouTube, ordered this blade. I'm excited to get it done for him. He didn't want jimping up here, just the ramp. So we did that. Again, these are going to have, this one is going to have these G10 scales with blue G10 liners. This is double black G10 from knifekits.com again in Georgia. And we've got this one, which was essentially a miniature version of my original. We just scaled it down. Again, this is a local friend of mine. She's going to be carrying this in her purse. I lightened it up a bit, put a few extra holes in it. She's going to have 2 thong tubing holes, one here and one at the back. So essentially a lanyard hole, and then instead of a pin, it'll have another tube. Pretty cool little blade. Like I said, it's just kind of a miniature version of my original design. Really lightweight. This one here is 7 inches overall length, and we're at 3.5 inch cutting surface on that one. It's a really comfy little blade. She's got fairly small hands, so she's not too worried about a stubby handle. I would consider this like a 3-fingered handle, but it's actually 4 for its upcoming owner, so that's cool. We're going again, this is spalted maple from knifekits.com in purple, and some white and pink stacked G10 liners. So those should complement it pretty nicely. This is going to have a transparent transparent Kydex sheath as well. Should be interesting. This here, this blade and this blade are both CPM 154. This blade going to Neil, the knife guy, is S35VN steel. And these two are both 1084 high carbon. My goal going forward is for these blades to be 01 tool steel is what I'll likely be using. I might dabble with some 1095 high carbon, maybe even some CPM 3V, but we'll see. I had really good success with my 1084 on this one. I've abused this thing to no end, and it's just holding up like a champ. I actually took this on a cutting board the other day and slammed it through 2 giant jawbreakers because my children wanted to see what they looked like on a cross section. So I took a dead blow hammer and pounded it through the very hard jawbreakers, and it didn't even miss a beat. I had to pound quite a bit, but it didn't round the edge, it didn't chip, nothing. So really impressed with the 1084. I know there's higher end options. Mainly 01 would be kind of a more, I guess a higher end option, a more well controlled option, better tolerances and stuff like that. So I think I'm really going to start leaning more towards 01, which I do have an 01 blade out there right now in Texas, which tested really well. I was very happy with it when it was finished, so we'll get to that. But I've got to figure out what I'm going to put on this for handles, get that done up. One thing I do want to do is finish one of these and start a gauntlet review on them. It's not cheap to make these, but I think it'll be well worth it. I'd like to send this off to some of my YouTube friends and have them pass it on down the line and just back to me after 10 hops or whatever, and see what people think of it. Just kind of get it in people's hands and go from there. I've also started an Indiegogo campaign. I'm doing this work with a 1x30-inch grinder, which is tedious to say the least, and a hand drill, and I'm having to ship these off to Alberta to have them heat treated in an even heat kiln. So I'd like to streamline my process and kind of try to get ahead a little bit, really make my lead time less for people and raise my level of quality. So I actually started a campaign, kind of like a Kickstarter. It's Indiegogo, and it's under Northeastern Blades on there. I'll put the link in the description below, but essentially I'm just trying to get a little help with essentially funding my tool purchases, really. So I'll put that down there. Any help's appreciated, guys. I've put a, what would you call it, an incentive on there. Any donations of $50 or more, I'll do the sheath for free with the first knife purchase. So yeah, I'd never heard of this type of thing until today, and some of my friends, some of which have already bought knives from me, suggested I get on there and start a campaign to try to kind of jumpstart my little project. So we'll see how that goes. In the meantime, I'm still plugging away, and I'm going to do my best to upgrade my tools and keep up with demand. I'm surprised and pleasantly surprised that I've got really good feedback so far, and more orders coming in pretty steadily. Mostly local, but there are a few places online, mainly through YouTube, that my YouTube friends and subscribers that have jumped on board and ordered, and one's been delivered again, and I appreciate your support, Michael. I'm glad you like your knife so much. If you want to check that out, guys, the Texas Bushcraft knife, I've got a video up on that. Turned out really well. Very happy with it, as is the owner. So like I said, check below for the links. And these are all going off for heat treatment. These are all going off for heat treatment tomorrow, and I expect to have them back fairly quickly, and then I'll be able to bang out some more finished product for you guys. I have another one that's finished, the Warthog. You guys may have seen the videos before. On that, it's just a little tanto bladed finger loop knife. It's pretty cool. I black powder coated it and put some high traction G10 on it. I'm just waiting to sharpen it up and make a Kydex sheath for it, and then I'll get that in front of the video for you guys as well. So anyway, guys, I appreciate the support, really do. Make sure you check out my other channel, Canadian Sheepdog, as well, CDN Sheepdog. Keep in touch. Go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. Check me out on Facebook as well, and we'll talk to you soon.